know that moment when life finally starts going well and you think, God, thank you. Nothing can go wrong again. Yes, that moment. That was exactly where Chike was. After years of struggling, selling snacks under the hot sun, and building his business step by step, Chike had finally made it. His restaurants were booming, his name carried respect, and most importantly, he was happily married. Her name was Adaeze. Now, Adaeze was not just beautiful, she had sense. The kind of woman that would remind you, Chike, don't forget where you're coming from. And Chike would laugh and say, as if I can forget. My past is following me like unpaid debt. Their home was peaceful, loving, the kind of home people look at and say, God, when? But as life became busier, Adaeze brought up an idea one evening. Chike, this house is getting too big. I need help. Chike looked around the house and nodded slowly. You're right. Even me, I got lost in the sitting room yesterday. So they decided to hire a housemaid. That was how Ngozi entered their life. Ngozi came looking humble, quiet, respectful. The type that would greet you like, good morning ma, good morning sir, with two hands and slight bow like she was in a cultural drama. Adaeze liked her immediately. At first, everything was fine. Ngozi worked well, she cleaned, she cooked, she even smiled politely. But sometimes, the quiet ones are not just quiet, they are thinking, calculating, watching. And Ngozi, she was watching everything. She saw the big house, she saw the fine clothes, she saw the soft life, and then she saw Chike, successful, calm, focused, and her mind said, this is sweet life. At first, it was just admiration, then it became comparison, then comparison slowly turned into jealousy, and jealousy turned into something dangerous. One day, while folding Adaeze's clothes, Ngozi paused and looked at herself in the mirror. Then she looked at the clothes, then back at herself and she whispered, if not for small thing, this life fit be mine. That small thing was Adaeze. That was where the problem started. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and slowly, a terrible plan formed in her mind. One evening, the house was calm. Chike had not returned yet. Adaeze sat at the dining table, tired, scrolling through her phone. Ngozi was in the kitchen, but she was not just cooking. She was planning. From her pocket, she brought out a small bottle. Poison. Yes, real poison. Her hand shook a little. Even her conscience tried to speak, this is wrong. But greed replied, shh, this is your chance. She poured it into Adaeze's drink, carried the tray, walked out like nothing was wrong. Madam, your food is ready. Adaeze smiled. Thank you, Ngozi. Sometimes you don't even know when danger is smiling at you from your own house. A few minutes later, Adaeze held her head. Why do I feel dizzy? Before anything else, she collapsed. Ngozi froze. Her heart was beating like someone running 100 meters. Did it work? She whispered. Instead of calling for help, she did something worse. That night, she carried Adaeze into a car, drove far outside the city, and left her by the roadside, just like that. Then she went home and slept, as if she only cooked jollof rice. The next day, chaos. Where is Adaeze? Chike searched everywhere. Police were called, friends were confused, but nobody suspected Ngozi. In fact, she was crying the most. If acting was a course, she would graduate with first class. Madam was so good to me, she cried. Meanwhile, she knew exactly what happened. Months passed, no signs of Adaeze. Chike was heartbroken, quiet, broken. And guess who was always there to comfort him? Ngozi, cooking for him, talking to him. Sir, you need to be strong. Gradually, she moved closer. 1 year later, Chike married her. The housemaid became the madam. She now wore Adaeze's clothes, slept in her room, enjoyed the life she once envied. She would sit in the living room and smile like God has done it. But what she didn't know was this: God had not finished. Far away from the city, in a small clinic, a woman slowly opened her eyes, weak, confused, but alive. It was Adaeze, the same woman Ngozi thought was gone forever. Life had given her another chance. One thing became clear: the story was not over, not even close, because when truth comes back, it doesn't knock gently, it enters with noise, and this time, Ngozi would not be smiling. Comment next if you want to see what happened when Adeze returns.